Coming up, FEMA's disaster fund is out of money, but will victims of the most recent federal disaster in Kentucky be affected?
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Eastern Kentuckians continue to be affected by federal disasters, most recently by storms that went through the area in late May. On Wednesday, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, announced that its disaster fund is out of money. WYMT's Amelia Lee has more from Whitley County, where a mobile disaster recovery center is now set up.
FEMA's disaster relief fund goes toward disaster response and recovery efforts. When that amount of money becomes too low, FEMA says they limit where the money is going to and implement immediate needs funding guidance, which they say ensures life-saving efforts and essential ongoing disaster operations will be funded.
The priority is to help individuals and families who are recovering from natural disasters.
Gerard Hammock with FEMA says Eastern Kentuckians who were impacted by the storms in May have nothing to worry about at this time, since that funding still counts as a priority.
FEMA's, core mission is helping Americans after disasters.
This week, FEMA and the Small Business Administration set up a mobile disaster recovery center in Whitley County for folks impacted by those severe storms.
After an event, there's a lot of things that can happen, whether they're financial, emotional, and between SBA and FEMA, we have a lot of resources.
Christian Lewis, who works with SBA, says he encourages people who were impacted by natural disasters to reach out.
I always tell people I'm glad that we're here to meet each other, but I'm also sad because that means something has happened traumatic in your life, and we're just trying to help you put the pieces together.
The Mobile Disaster Recovery Center will be open through Saturday. In Whitley County, Amelia Lee, WYMT Mountain News.
If you have questions about if you qualify for FEMA aid or need help applying, Hammock says you can go online to fema.gov/DRC.
Well, as advertised, we had temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s. Take a look at the highs today, and I'll go ahead and draw a circle and pinpoint where we had some 90s on the map. And you can see over towards Pikeville, through Prestonsburg, through Jackson, through Somerset, back up to Irvin, Moorhead, Ashland, and Prestonsburg, seeing temperatures in the low 90s. Some places seeing heat indices in the mid to upper 90s. And right now, at the 11 o'clock hour, we're at 78 in Prestonsburg, 78 in Jackson, 70 in Hazard, as well as Manchester, 71 Harlan, 71 Middlesboro, Jacksboro checking in with 72 degrees. Temperature changed substantially warmer as compared to 24 hours ago. 7 degrees warmer in Williamsburg, 5 degrees warmer in Ashland, 8 degrees warmer in Prestonsburg. Live pinpoint Doppler radar showing some false echoes right now. All is quiet right now across eastern Kentucky unless you're near the Moorhead area. Temperatures right now. There are temperatures over the next 12 hours, I should say. We'll see temperatures in the mid-70s. I'll have your first alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. Students attending the flood-damaged Buckhorn School in Perry County will start classes now on August 26th. They were originally slated to begin today. Some rebuilding tasks are yet to be completed, but Jody Maggard with Perry County Schools says they should be ready within a week. Maggard says they have a plan to help students make up missed days.
The board will meet, and in the process of adjusting the school calendar, we'll apply for some emergency days. And if those emergency days are granted, then they'll just fall back into the same routine calendar as everyone else.
Maggard says the interior of Buckhorn will look completely different for students returning to the school. More than $23 million will continue to help communities affected by the 2022 flood. Governor Basher made that announcement today during his Team Kentucky briefing. Several city and county officials traveled to Frankfort today to hear more about the funding from the Eastern Kentucky State Aid for Emergencies, or SAFE Fund.
Again, this is just another great day for Breathitt County and for the state of Kentucky to be able to get some more hope. We've got quite a few people that's displaced. We got quite a few people that's leaving the county. And this year will just bring some hope to show that we're working hard. The governor's behind us, working hard. He's been there since day one.
You can find out exactly how much money is going to specific counties and cities on our website, WYMT.com. We are also hearing from Governor Andy Beshear for the first time about the Pulaski County Schools controversy. The district faced some backlash over a Facebook post opposing Amendment 2. That amendment would allow tax dollars to be steered to private or charter schools. The district has since removed the posts after a recent advisory from Attorney General Russell Coleman.
The message that was put out, even if it might not have been put out in the right way, is correct. Districts like Pulaski County will be defunded through Amendment 2. It will take dollars from rural public school districts and send them to private schools in urban areas.
Governor Beshear said that while the Pulaski County Superintendent could have taken a different approach, his commitment to fighting for his students is clear. An airline pilot shortage continues to take off. While enrollment in pilot training schools grew in recent years, there could still be some rough air ahead. Based on federal data, the number of certified airline pilots under the mandatory retirement age of 65 may increase during the next 20 years. There is a strong demand for pilots, particularly with smaller regional airlines. EKU hopes a new flight simulator will help get high schoolers interested in aviation. Carly Hogston reports.
Estill County High School teacher Nathan Pruitt is getting ready for takeoff.
Yeah, 55 to 60 knots.
EKU aviation student Sean Atkins is giving the teacher flying lessons.
So, in 2 minutes you can make a 360-degree turn.
Mr. Pruitt in his cowboy boots are adjusting to steering a plane with his feet.
You might have to push on the brakes. A little bit sideways.
Pruitt and other Estill County teachers will have to figure all this out because by Labor Day, this $10,000 virtual machine built by EKU Aviation will be an Estill County classroom where students will take their turn flying over central Kentucky. And we hear the students can't wait to go to new career heights.
A lot of them have really shown interest in, and they're super excited about it before we've even got any of this.
State Representative Bill Wesley has Estill County in his district. Wesley sits on the Aviation Caucus Committee in Frankfort and started discussing different program opportunities for Estill County students. He met with EKU President Dr. David McFadden about some high-flying opportunities.
And so when that door opened, I asked him if he'd help me get an aviation program for our kids.
And so the door in the skies opened. It's much needed because aviation experts say currently there is a pilot shortage.
The goal of these simulators is to, again, whet the appetite, get the students interested in aviation.
As for Pruitt's virtual trip, let's just say he walked away from his landing.
We landed all in one piece, and that's the most important part. That's all you can ask for. So.
In Richmond, Carly Hogston, WKYT.
There are other high schools in eastern Kentucky that have flight simulators. EKU graduates about 100 pilots a year. Aviation experts say after a year and a half, pilots can make six figures. The University of Pikeville has been welcoming students to its campus for the last several weeks, moving in as they move toward a new year. The campus has seen an increase in international students and is welcoming nearly 650 student athletes among the other hundreds of students hitting the hill this fall. Educators say it's great to see the students coming back as they prepare for their days in the dorms.
I think just the energy of bringing back our students. It's exciting to meet them, to learn about their journey. Many of them are the first in their family to go to college.
Classes for undergrad students begin August 27th, but UPike representatives say the campus is already full of students and excitement. Former President Donald Trump did a little show and tell with grocery products as he spoke about inflation at a news conference at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey. Vice President Kamala Harris is also on the campaign trail talking about prices and the economy as she prepares to outline her strategy tomorrow in Raleigh, North Carolina. CBS's Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington.
Flanked by cereal, coffee, fruit, and other items, former President Donald Trump blamed President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris for rising costs at the supermarket.
Look at that, up 46% eggs. Wow.
Trump's news conference at his New Jersey golf course comes a day before the Democratic presidential nominee heads to North Carolina to deliver her first policy speech. Vice President Harris is set to outline her proposals to lower costs, including a federal ban on price gouging by food and grocery industries, a move that would require congressional approval.
Now Kamala is reportedly proposing communist price controls. She wants price controls. And if they worked, I'd go along with it too, but they don't work.
In Maryland Thursday, Harris and President Biden made their first joint appearance since he bowed out of the race.
No senior should have to choose between either filling their prescription or paying their rent.
They touted new agreements with drug manufacturers to bring down the price for 10 widely used medications that will take effect in 2026. The Medicare negotiation program, which is part of the Inflation Reduction Act, marks the first time the federal government has haggled with drug makers.
For years, Big Pharma has often inflated the price of life-saving medications.
During Friday's event in Raleigh, Vice President Harris is also expected to call for the construction of 3 million new housing units if she wins in November, and an expansion of tax incentives for developers to build affordable housing. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The Harris campaign said the vice president has agreed to a second debate sometime in October after the first debate with former President Trump on September 10th. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, federal prosecutors announced criminal charges against 5 people, including 2 doctors, in the death of Friends actor Matthew Perry.
And thunderstorm chances pick up tomorrow. We'll pinpoint that coming up in a few minutes. Stay with us.